cell phones or put it on the silent mode. We are commencing the proceedings for the evening today, and I will request all the dignitaries on the dais to kindly come and take their seats. Just a technical announcement: Channel 1 will be English, Channel 2 will be Chinese, and Channel 3 will be Russian. And we are very fortunate that our friends from Brazil, most of them are very comfortable with English. So friends, it's my great pleasure to welcome all of you to this third BRICS Legal Forum taking place at New Delhi. We have with us very high dignitaries of Indian state and Indian judiciary. We have our Honorable Union Minister for Law and Justice, Electronics and Communication, Mr. Ravi Shankar Prasad. We have Honorable Justice Deepak Mishra, Judge of Supreme Court of India. And apart from that, we have various dignitaries on the dais, which include President of Bar Association of India, Mr. R.K.P. Shankardass, Mr. Mukul Rohatgi, Attorney General for India and co-chair of the third BRICS Legal Forum, Mr. K.K. Venugopal, eminent senior advocate and co-chair of the BRICS Legal Forum. He was responsible along with China Law Society's team to conceive the idea of launching this forum in the first place. And then we have Mr. Chen Jiping, Executive Vice President of China Law Society, Mr. Alexei Klishin, Chairman, Russian Commission on WTO and BRICS of Russian Lawyers Association, and also in Russia, the integration of legal profession is taking place. So he is heading the commission also for the integration of the legal profession in Russia. Then we have Mr. Luis Teixeira Ferreira, who is from Order of Lawyers of Brazil, or OAB, which is Federal Bar of Brazil. Then lastly, we have Mr. Muvoso Notiesi. He is co-chairperson of Law Society of South Africa. We also have with us Mr. Lalit Bhasin, President of Society of Indian Law Firms, and Pinky Anand, Additional Solicitor General, who is head the program committee of this legal forum. Friends, very briefly, this forum was conceived in 2012 when China Law Society was on a bilateral visit to India. And that is the time this idea was conceived. It took us another 2 years' work, coordinating and networking, to finally launch this forum in Brasilia, in Brazil, in December 2014, where for the first time the legal organizations of all the 5 BRICS countries met and entered into what is called Brasilia Declaration, which is the initial formative document of the third BRICS Legal Forum. Thereafter, we had a second forum meeting in October 2015 in Shanghai in China, where again we further strengthened the operational structures of the third BRICS Legal Forum, and as an added initiative, we launched what is called the first of the centers of International Dispute Resolution Centers for BRICS at Shanghai. It was inaugurated there, and now we are having third BRICS Legal Forum. This forum is very significant because this is for the first time the legal forum is getting integrated with the other activities of BRICS, as India is the host to the summit this year and various other BRICS programs. And that's why it is natural that India should have been hosting it. And with the minister there and the Honorable Minister can see that this forum is composed of all the statutory and voluntary main legal organizations of BRICS countries, the main universities of BRICS countries who have started BRICS institutes and BRICS studies programs in their countries. In China, another initiative was launched that was developing legal talent in the BRICS countries. So we had 5 scholars each from 4 of the BRICS countries, other BRICS countries, who were imparted 10-day intensive training in Chinese laws at Shanghai, at Eastern University of Political Science and Law. And this year, I'm very proud to announce that in collaboration with Amity University, we are conducting a similar 10-day legal talent development program in Indian laws for our scholars from the BRICS countries. So this is a remarkable capacity building initiative which BRICS Legal Forum has taken up. Apart from that, we will be launching here what we call the New Delhi Center, which we are naming as International Dispute Resolution Center for BRICS and Emerging Economies, because the BRICS is looked at by all the emerging economies to provide leadership in the field of dispute resolution. And we, working with all our colleagues in other BRICS countries, are trying to develop the dispute resolution mechanism, not just arbitration, but also mediation, into centers of excellence. And for that, collaboration and support of the legal communities of all the BRICS countries will be very vital. Apart from that, we will also be launching various other working groups on very crucial areas of financial laws, taxation, cooperation in legal education, and other such working groups which the steering committee of the forum will be taking up tomorrow. BRICS looks very disparate in terms of legal cultures and the legal systems which are followed, but during 5 years of working with this concept, with this forum, I can tell you that the basic cultural attributes of 5 BRICS countries are towards dispute resolution in a harmonious way. That is what we have learned while establishing this forum. That's why, till date, the BRICS declarations of Brasilia and Shanghai have been the documents which have been constructed with fullest cooperation, understanding, and common inputs from all BRICS, 5 BRICS countries. So the last output of this forum is going to be the New Delhi Declaration, which will be seeking to integrate the legal forum with the works of other BRICS institutions and governments to provide legal support. Now, without making any further ado, I will request Mr. Lalit Bhasin, President, Society of Indian Law Firms, to give his welcome address.
Honorable Minister Shri Ravi Shankar Prasad ji, Honorable Justice Deepak Mishra ji, Attorney General Mr. Mukul Rohatgi, Mr. K.K. Venugopal, former President of UIA, Mr. R.K.P. Shankardass, former President of the International Bar Association and presently President of the Bar Association of India, Mr. Prashant Kumar, Ms. Pinky Anand, heads of BRICS Legal Forum delegations, former judges of the Supreme Court, Mr. Nadkarni, Additional Solicitor General, Mr. Amarjit Singh Chandeok, Dr. Ashok Chauhan and Dr. Atul Chauhan, and my friends from the profession. BRICS is a movement. It has gained momentum over the last decade, but particularly during the last 2-3 years, we have been seeing a flurry of activities, particularly in India. And at the initiative of the present government, we are seeing all over the country BRICS programs spread over a period of 2 to 3 months. Now, why was the need for the legal forum to come in? You may talk about economic cooperation, you may talk about development, but all that is not possible unless you have the legal support. That is most vital for getting economic cooperation on a stable basis. That is why need was felt to set up this BRICS Legal Forum. Now, in the presence of the Honorable Minister, I would like to say that we are at the moment at the brilliant initiative of his ministry, talking about the liberalization and globalization of the profession. Instead of that, why don't we, as a first step, start thinking about liberalizing the profession in the BRICS countries itself? I think that would be a great service to the cause of BRICS if we could start thinking as to how we can accommodate each other's systems of law practice, and why we cannot, instead of thinking of the United States or Europe or US or Japan, why not first start with BRICS, of which we are an integral part, and BRICS is like a family. So I would like to leave this thought with the Honorable Minister, and also that what Prashant very rightly highlighted, the need to set up centers of excellence in the field of dispute resolutions. There again, the ministry, which is headed by the Honorable Minister here, they have taken initiatives in field of promoting arbitration and making India, among other countries in BRICS, you see, as a hub of arbitration dispute resolution. These are my thoughts on this. With this, I leave it to Prashant to carry it forward. Thank you.
I will now request Mr. Venugopal, whose, the Brasilia Declaration and the framework of BRICS emerged partly from his office, and that's what we worked on and finalized in Brasilia. Mr. Venugopal.
Thank you, Mr. Prashant Kumar. Honorable Justice Deepak Mishra, Honorable Judge Supreme Court of India, Honorable Mr. Ravi Shankar Prasad, Minister for Law and Justice, as well as Electronics and Telecommunications.
Information technology.
Oh, I'm sorry, Information Technology. I'm sorry. He's an old friend of mine. We have been appearing together in cases. We have been appearing against each other. We are missing him in the Supreme Court of India, but he has taken over a much heavier job today. And it's heartwarming to find so many delegates from the BRICS countries coming here for attending the legal forum. And I, for one, would welcome traveling to all these countries of the BRICS forum. From my child, from very early years, I have been having the travel bug. I've gone to each one of these countries many times. And I have to say that you can't find anything more beautiful than, for example, the Amazon River in Brazil, the Iguazu Falls, and so on. And in Russia, St. Petersburg, and the Hermitage, which is one of the best museums you can find anywhere in the world. And perhaps not equal to Louvre, but practically as good as the Louvre. And in China, where I've been frequently visiting in China, Hangzhou was the first place I went to in 1989. And the people in Hangzhou told me, if there is a heaven above, there is Hangzhou below. But there is another town also, that is Suzhou, which says the same thing. But the best silks in the world, and they say also the most beautiful women, come from Hangzhou, and that is what they boast about. And we have South Africa, with the Kruger National Park in South Africa, and the Robben Island, where Nelson Mandela was incarcerated. Therefore, these are all beautiful, beautiful countries. And India, of course, can compete with any one of them on equal terms. And we have the Taj Mahal, we have the tiger reserves, and we have so many wonderful things. And I hope Mr. Prashant Kumar, who has been in charge of organizing this, has been looking after our guests and ensuring that they have some part of, take back with them some part of India and memories, and good memories also. Now, this is not a pure travel issue. but we are going to have very, very serious talks tomorrow onwards. And we are going to have very heavy issues like international arbitration, international trade, or rule of law and human rights, and so on. And therefore, from tomorrow onwards, all of us will be very, very busy. And this evening, we're going to have a nice dinner and so on after the visit. We have with us the Attorney General for India, and it's a rare thing for an Attorney General to be a member of the BRICS Legal Forum, to host, as it were, all the members who are coming from other countries. We have Mr. Ravi Shankar Prasad, who I think is one of the most powerful ministers with all these portfolios at his command. And we are so happy that he so readily agreed to come here for participating in this evening's function. And not least of all, Justice Deepak Mishra. And you can take it from me that he is a judge with a very big heart. And all of us feel so much at home arguing before him, because he continuously cracks jokes to put us at ease. And at the same time, he is a very, very serious judge when it comes to deciding cases and delivering his judgments. Let me extend to you, all of you, who are going to participate in the discussions from tomorrow onwards, my best wishes for a very constructive and a very useful stay here in India. Thank you.
Now I will request co-chair of the forum and Attorney General for India, Mr. Mukul Rohatgi, to give his welcome.
Good evening, everybody. A very warm welcome to all our friends and delegates from all BRICS countries, spread far and wide. The distance between India and Brazil is probably one of the largest in the world. Mr. Justice Mishra, one of our senior Supreme Court judges, a judge with great learning and erudite, Mr. Ravi Shankar, Union Minister of Law, but I think whose heart first is as a lawyer and then as a minister. And that is why he is here. He has spent some time at the bar, so he has squeezed out some time because he is leaving for Latvia and Estonia today. And you must have read in the papers that every minister is asked to go to 2 countries where Indian ministers have not been, and he is taking the lead by leaving tonight. We are thankful to the Law Minister to be present with us. My other friends and colleagues on the dais, and a warm welcome to all on the dais, including Prashant. I must tell you, I was very pleasantly surprised when our delegate from Brazil, who is sitting next to Pinky, came and greeted me and all of us in our traditional way, in our language, namely Hindi. He said Namaste, Namaskar and Ram Ram. It is a pity that I cannot reciprocate, but I am sure by tomorrow I will look up the internet to reciprocate our greetings to our Brazilian friends and maybe all our other friends from different parts of the world. Out of BRICS, I can only say that I have visited South Africa and Russia. I was in Russia about 3 weeks ago, and I spent a good deal of time at the Hermitage Museum, which Mr. Venugopal referred to. And as far as South Africa is concerned, I told our friend that I visited South Africa about 10 years ago, And I was in Johannesburg, Cape Town, Sun City, Kruger. But I must tell you that I personally feel that Cape Town is one of the most beautiful and scenic cities in the world with the Table Mountain. I don't wish to say much about serious issues because those issues will be discussed tomorrow and day after. Today is just a welcome to all of you. We are grateful that everybody is here. And I must tell you, the importance of BRICS, not merely the legal forum. I was reading that at the G20 in Hangzhou, in China, or Guangzhou, I don't know how it is pronounced, the leaders of all the 5 nations